Hello, my name is Oladipo Fashimo. I'm a student of Global Energy Management of the Haskayne School of Business, University of Calgary. Today I'll be talking to you about value chain and competitive advantage in the energy industry. What is competitive advantage? Competitive advantage can be described as the leverage that a company has over its competitors or peers within a competitive industry or market. For me, it's the essence of the performance of a given company in that industry. And it's I think how that is achieved, how that competitive advantage is achieved, can be termed as the competitive strategy of that company. And what is strategy? According to Rumelt, strategy is not just ideas. It's not just the final objective, but it should involve first a diagnostic look at the situation with a view to identifying the challenges, drawing up guiding policy, and then defining concrete actions, and then carrying out those concrete actions that will lead to the attainment of those well-defined objectives. Now, every company is made up of different activities, series of activities which most of the time are interlinked, and how those activities interact and those activities themselves can be described in what is termed value chain analysis. And value chain analysis could also be broadly divided into the core business of a company as well as the support activities that help to achieve those core activities. In the energy industry, available literature on competitive advantage and value chain analysis is very scarce. And for me, I think it's because up until recent dynamics in the energy industry, the industry has been more or less economically viable for any entrant because of the global energy demand. But in the past couple of years, going by a number of reasons, which has more or less destabilized the dynamics in the energy industry, companies are beginning to think about competitive advantage, and this might help to fill the lacuna of available literature on competitive advantage and value chain analysis in the energy industry. Now, the energy industry can be broadly divided into fossil fuel resources, be it conventional or unconventional hydrocarbon resources, as well as renewable energies. For the fossil fuel energy sources, we have the value chain, which can be described or broken down into these concrete activities. First is the exploration and production branch, which comprises of first getting the identified leases before exploration activities are carried out, and with the successful exploration we go into the appraisal phase, which then leads to possible development of the hydrocarbon resources in the case of successful appraisal. So for the development, we're talking about conceptual studies leading to basic engineering design, and then procurement and construction, followed by installation and drilling of wells, of production wells. When we have crossed that stage, we're now in the production mode. The effluents from the earth resources have to be transported into refining and marketing arm. So we talked about exploration, production, transportation, and storage is also part of that value chain. And then we have refining and marketing and services. Also, we could throw in the petrochemicals because for us for a given company to tap into those resources and benefit from it, you might want to go along the whole value chain. So you have petrochemicals, the petrochemical industry, or the petrochemical arm of the petroleum industry takes refined products, oil and gas, which helps to produce several petrochemicals like plastics and polyethylene, for example. Then, apart from that, you also have the global trading, shipping, as well as services. So you have all from the whole value chain, from production into refining, into transportation, and then delivery to either private or commercial consumers. Now, a very good example of a company that is taking advantage of this whole value chain and being very competitive in the energy industry is the Total Group, the French oil giant, which seems to also be recently diversifying into renewable energies, with a view, with all the dynamics going on, that renewable energy in the global energy mix will become more and more important. While oil and gas remains the core of the business for Total, they are diversifying into the renewable energy domain by the purchase of SunPower, purchase of Saft, a storage battery manufacturing company, and also Lamperis, which has the whole value chain of gas and electricity distribution in Europe. So, having said that, I think in the energy industry, for any company to remain truly competitive, you must be involved at different stages, whereas you try to maximize or you try to maximize the synergy within the given value chain, and you also want to improve your situation either by horizontal integration, which involves increasing your market share within a given level of the value chain, or vertical integration, where a supplier of a product for the other segment belongs to the same company, for example, and Total is taking advantage, for this is just an example, is taking advantage of both horizontal and vertical integrations. And what are the factors that might determine competitiveness or competitive advantage? It can be broken down into microeconomic or macroeconomic factors. So the microeconomic factors are those factors that are intrinsic within a company, like the human resources, what the robustness of their strategic ideas, whereas the macro has to do with more a broader, more broad factors, like the fiscal and political situation, the fiscal factors and political situation and human development within a given sphere. We could also throw in the resources available to the company. So this will determine the competitiveness of that company, and also how the best achieve their value chain, how the best achieve those activities which define the company that I mentioned previously, which can be analyzed through the value chain analysis. In conclusion, I think with the recent dynamics in the energy industry, strategic management has become even more important, and the importance of strategic management in the energy industry with the vis-a-vis value chain and competitive advantage cannot be overemphasized. I hope I've been able to impact some ideas to you on this, and for further reading, I will suggest Rumelt, Good Strategy, Bad Strategy, as well as the detailed analysis of value chain by Potter. Thank you very much for your attention. See you soon.